when I saw like ECW, FMW, and the death matches, I was like, oh shit, you know, that's like real, that's legit. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, if this is what it is, like, I don't know if I could be able to do this anymore. It's like Jerry Lynn said, you're never fully trained as a pro wrestler. There's so much, you know, it was like a really hyped up atmosphere, like something new's coming along and this is gonna be big, you know, and everybody wanted to work their ass off and go out there and, you know, show what they could do. And he's just like, look, financially he was having a hard time. It's like, well, there's a different way of going about things, you know. You didn't have to work us to make money. At that time, like I weighed probably about 225 and, you know, 6'2", 225 and do a lot of like flying moves, which was different. And I was always in the mindset that's what you had to do to actually make a name. But everybody else was doing that, so it's kind of like, all right, well, how are you going to stand out? It's like you start seeing politics getting in play, and you start seeing segregation in the locker rooms. People have their little cliques and whatnot. And he's like, you know, you need to get on the gas. And you got a chest of a 14-year-old boy. And it's like, the chest of a 14-year-old boy, motherfucker, like seriously? I remember that time he was just a fucking cocky asshole prick, man. Like, ton of fucking ego. And sorry, man, but you're not a good athlete. I don't give a fuck if you're in WWE or not. Making millions of dollars, you know, people can talk shit about me and be like, oh, well, you only do this and do that. It's like, this is what's getting me over with the crowd, you know? So you want me to basically not do what's getting me over. Came to blows at the White Trash Cafe, like this is in Tennessee. Came to blows and then Sabu broke it up before it escalated even more. He showed up like literally 5 minutes before we had to go out. And then I'm like, is he really gonna remember any of this? Like we only told him once and then he got everything spot on. And D was just like, man, like I can't even stand to be in Japan for 2 weeks. Like I don't know how you're gonna last. And I was like, well, the way things are going with me business-wise in the States, like I can't play the political role, I can't play politics, I can't kiss people's ass, you know. Just TNA didn't have anything to offer, or I wouldn't say they didn't have anything to offer, but the thing is they didn't give you any feedback on what you need to work on to actually get a spot there. Yeah. We were talking about segregated locker rooms, like you would see all the old ECW guys in one spot, then WCW guys in another, and then WWF guys in a different part of the locker room. And then every once in a while you would see other wrestlers from different companies that work for all three co-mingling with each other. But there's a lot of people that don't like him. Like fucking he got his ass kicked by the Twin Brothers, the bikers. Like they beat the shit out of him outside. Yeah, they beat the shit out of him outside the asylum. I've said this before, I'm probably one of the very few people in the indies that makes a living doing this. Right. And I didn't do that through politicking and kissing ass. TNA had this attitude like you're lucky to be here. WWE actually treated you like, okay, you could be one of our next stars. Nah, because when I went over there, Big Japan was about to go out of business. Like it was on the verge of going under. They were always suspect of us like trying to jump to another company, and after being loyal for so many years, it finally happened. Well, the thing is, like they would tell me like, you're family now, which in Japan, if they tell you that, then they're gonna treat you like family. So people don't hesitate to punch somebody in the face, you know.
Right in the ring?
Right in the ring, outside the ring, in the office, you know, in the dojo. Like, I've seen a lot of brutal shit. But it's like they would meet you, they would want you to go like 99%, they meet you at 1. And after, so I told Ichikawa, I was like, Ichi, you tell Tosaka right now, I don't have any matches in June because I'm not going to be here. When Numazawa did this to my arm right here, like literally this was open like that much. We're on tour, and I told Tosaka, like, I've had my forehead lacerated where literally this was hanging out and blood just sprayed, like squirting. Our matches were being mid-card and get more exposure in the magazines than the main event did. And the office didn't like it. They liked it. Like, Samoa Joe had this big reputation of being this badass. Necro put him in check, and then I just put Necro in check. I remember when I first met DJ, DJ was saying something big was going to happen. Yeah. He didn't let the cat out of the bag, but he bought the company. Arms, like that's one of the things that made me want to continue to work here is because everybody was really cool and it was more like a family atmosphere. And it wasn't. That's where in Germany, it's like he made so much money. Like I think he made like $4 grand on that tour. Yeah, he was one of those people that wanted to get stuff in the ring or in the match, and then like when you would just give him the go ahead, hey, I need you to do this. Like it usually got botched pretty bad. Like DJ was like, well, Tell me what I need to expect out of this match, and I told DJ right away, I was like, expect a bloodbath, because those things are sharp as hell, and there's 100 blades on one plate, so. And then when I noticed that it was just holes, I was like, okay, I'm fine, but the way the blood was coming out, it's like, we need to go home pretty soon. I don't want to bleed to death out here. Deathmatch wrestling, the whole point of doing them was to show that pro wrestling is real. But Ito was one of those people that would take liberties with guys. You know, like I said, kicking tubes in your chest and in your face and just being reckless with things. You know, you have a stipulation of just being a deathmatch guy, and it's like, okay, I hate that phrase.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm actually a professional wrestler, like hybrid worker, like I can do any style. I mean, to me, indie wrestling is the only true form of professional wrestling nowadays, you know. It's not that he's antisocial by any means, he just, you know, he's here to do his job and then go home, you know. You know, Davey, you know, had that conception of me just being a garbage worker, you know. He even straight said it to my face on the mic. You know, it gets irritating when promoters ask me, well, can you actually work? And it's like, well, dude, what have you been seeing, you know?
Yeah.
That's really, it just makes me think you're an ignorant mark, you know. The bad publicity of deathmatch wrestling is the epitome of it. It's someone that doesn't know what he's doing, isn't trained. And then you got promoters that are booking him, and they're probably paying him nothing. That's why they're using him. And instead of him going to school and actually learning how to wrestle and actually understand it, you're just putting a backyarder out there. Going into the standpoints of ECW, New Jack fillet cutting that kid's head open, transit or whatever the fuck.
That's transit, yeah.
You know, somebody that doesn't train, never been in a wrestling ring, and then claims to be something he's not, and then fully believes it, then you're going to get put in check.
Yeah.
There's other companies that do death matches that are just straight shit, but they don't do the blood test, so you never know. Matches with Davey Richards, AR Fox, Sammy, Cole, Generico to actually show, hey, I can actually go in full force and actually work. Basically, to me, it's the same BS, you know, like blow a bunch of smoke up your ass and then when it's time to fucking play ball, it really isn't there to fucking play full-heartedly, let you actually go out there and do what you got to do. Came up, I was like, so what am I doing on the shows? He's like, well, I figured after you know, big leagued me and just didn't even talk to me that we were done. It's like, well, you can't call me and actually talk to me professional about that? You know, people are making money off of people's disability and they're laughing at it. I don't think that's particularly funny, you know? The thing, like, before I even got in wrestling, like, I was a trainer Taekwondo, you know? Like, I was a training instructor in that, and I had a second-degree black belt in it, things. And then I told them, like, look, you need to do business back with CCW because that's the hottest time it was in Japan for BJW. I said this before, it's like I've never been out for myself. Like, if I help someone out, we all get over. Same thing with putting a match together. We all work together, the match gets over. Well, guess what? Both of us get over. Here, you're just going out there and sabotaging, and you're not on the level, you know? It's like anybody can take a box cutter and stab somebody. Earlier, it's like when it says indie wrestling, it's kind of like a knock. It just say what it is. It's like the realest form of pro wrestling there is right now. He really pissed me the fuck off. First time I was going to go to Japan, and he's like, how'd you get over there? I was like, I sent a tape. He's like, oh, I should do that. That's all you have to do. I'm like, really? Well, fuck him, man, because he was kissing my ass when it's all said and done. I got to have a better match with someone at the CZW school who's only been training for a fucking month.